the international stage. We've seen game wins from KVG, but never a series in a 2-0 fashion against a team like Nightmare that's so decorated. That already feels like a big improvement from last time.
Yeah, now we can see KLVJ this time. We're actually looking at the laning phase, and he definitely has a better trade going up against the Khalid. The only thing is that the Khalid can heal up, so it's not that punishing.
Also looking at how much impact Jasmine has, right? Like, you're getting controlled so much, and it's so hard to walk up. If PCU had that Law and Order at level 2, that would potentially be a dead show. Forced to recall this early doesn't feel good at all.
Something to look at, actually. Nightmare Esports, 4 out of 5 members actually have Thrill in their emblem setup. So it does look like they want to be more aggressive in the early game. They want to make sure that they have a lot of base damage.
They know what to say. Damage is king, right? That extra 18 adaptive damage at level 1. Oh, sweet, sweet numbers.
Yeah, and again, KLVJ, look at how he's moving around Opera. He's cutting the path. He knows where Opera is going to move, and he's like, I'm going to make sure I'm here first. You can't move forward. KLVJ is doing an amazing job as an EXP laner to make sure that one of the benefits of a Khalid is not being used.
You go up against the Kings, you best not miss KLVJ. Like you said, literally a brick wall. Like, it's very rare that you see Khalid getting kind of stumped in this position. The Phobius gets to move first. That does not feel good.
Oh, yeah. Different rotation here. Looks like the roamer as well as the EXP actually absorbs the mid lane. So does this mean that E1 wants that EXP? Oh, hold on.
KLVJ is going to be 4. Retrieve 5 goes. Too easy for Lexi. Will find the turtle. Vengeance will not help KLVJ. First blood for Nightmare.
I don't know whether it was intended or not, but Yi1 wasn't level 4, which I feel like the EXP lane was open for him to absorb that minion wave. And again, I don't know if that's part of the plan, but I would imagine that they wanted Yi1 to get that level 4 first in the EXP and then join the fight around Turtle.
I agree. I think having the Eternal Guard is so much more valuable than maybe PCU getting that level 4 with the Glorious Pathway. It doesn't change much. And doesn't help when Jasmine basically zoned out the Vexana from the fight. So now they get to kind of put that pressure on the top side. Get to freeze the turret a little bit. Long still taking that fight. Jasmine spotted out by PCU. Mid side, Yi1 getting gone on Eternal Guard drop. Jasmine even flickers but couldn't find the kick as Yi1 traced his.
Definitely a big change here where Niightmare Esports has more control around the map. They have more tempo, and the change of having this Cho really makes it very, very impressive. And again, something that we might be able to study after this is the emblem setup. Everyone, I believe except Soso, has that thrill. So Cammy has early damage, Jasmine has early damage, Too Easy for Lexi has early damage, Opper as well has early damage, even though he's not able to utilize it going up against KLVJ. But so far, the strat looks good.
Yeah. And thankfully with Jasmine and Soso, they get to kind of negate the disadvantage that that Oppa has to kind of suffer in that early game, right? They're continuing to put pressure onto Long. It's not like PCU is on a Kaja, right? So now diving feels a bit better. And here comes 4-man dive, Raging Sandstorm flicker into a kick. Purify gets used by Long, but the damage is just too much. Jasmine finds the takedown.
Yeah, not much that PCU can really do. Nightmare already starting off very, very good. The fact that Cammy is able to clear the wave that fast, now Cammy can join the turtle fight. So Dianfengyaoguai, no matter what, is going to be a 5-man fight from Nightmare. Nightmare should be the ones to really control this this neutral objective. And now even Too Easy for Lexi has the War Axe.
And you see the difference between the Suyo and the Nolan, right? The burst from Suyo just not as much early on. They find the Terrify, KLVJ to the back, Retribution War. Again, not even close. Too Easy for Lexi finds the objective. Zed gets out, but Cellkate goes down again.
Good idea coming in from KLVJ, but Jasmine, he went to the back line making sure that no follow-up is going to be there.
Yeah.
We see the idea here from KLVJ is like, okay, we might not be able to get this turtle, but maybe we can get a kill.
Without the Eve, it is very different, right? Vexana, you use that Terrify or Eternal Guard, that utility goes right out the window. You have such a long cooldown in these early stage. So the control area of control for Dianfengyaoguai definitely not as much as game 1.
Yeah, and I like what you brought up. Not having the Eve here, that also might be the big difference maker for Dianfengyaoguai. Vexana is good, but it's definitely not a replacement for an Eve.
Yeah, it's kind of like a budget Eve. I would even say Aurora kind of feels slightly better in certain regards, right? If you have a Cho that's running at you, I definitely feel like Aurora makes a bit more difference. They drop the Eternal Guard onto Jasmine, who is just soaking it up. KLVJ blocking out Yi1. He doesn't have... Oh, he has to use Flicker, actually, to get out of that. That would have been pretty deadly. commit the full combo onto CalVJ. Not getting much. Jasmine goes in, looks for the knockup. Jikundo gets it. CalVJ re-engages. PC Law and Order. The verdict being Jasmine's demise. CalVJ pulls vengeance, but the damage from Cammy gives him a double kill.
Yeah, and this is where we see the priority lies with Cammy. Cammy was all alone in the bottom lane, Husky. He could have stayed there. He could have for sure grabbed that objective. But this is the teamwork of Niightmare Esports. He rotated mid, get those kills, and able to get the mid lane. And now he might even get this bottom lane as well.
It feels so much better. It feels so good when your roamer is able to set up and tank damage, not like a Matilda that just gets blown up in an instant. Too easy for Lexi. He's one level ahead. Oppa now gets the pressure along. Obviously not much, right? This Bruno still hurts like a truck. Has to be very careful with how he moves. And with this Bruno out of commission for now, Niightmare Esports gets to move around a lot more.
By the way, can I just shout out the... Right now we have the trophy in the Land of Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
Right? When Bruno was fighting against Opera, I saw that at the side. Oh, hold on. DCU taking a lot of damage.
It's a good Law and Order to stop the kick. Jasmine out of position. This CalVJ takes him out. Oppa from the corner. Yeah, Long is almost walked out to it. Oppa will just go on to him. Long will fight back, uses the Wody, but keeps his Purify. So it's not that bad for Dianfengyaoguai.
Looks like the idea for both EXP laners, CalVJ as well as Opera, is just like man-to-man defense. Don't let whoever you're assigned to move around the map. CalVJ stop Opera, and this time Opera is going to stop Long. He's going to make sure that Opera will die, but Long is nowhere near the fight.
I would argue stopping the show is so much important. Too easy for Lexi gets the third turtle again. And CalVJ, he's so deep in the Revitalize, not in range to save him. So Cammy on the killing spree.
All the while, Opera was on to Yi1. Yi1 was not a part of that fight just because Opera was able to find him in the backline and then push him away. And Yi1, his playstyle is very, very safe. He's going to make sure that he doesn't die. And Opera exploited that.
I think that the downside right now, or at least how Dianfengyaoguai has been playing, there's no one to peel for Yi1. It's not like game 1 where you have a Kaja, we have a Phoveus that can focus on the back. They get a 3-man knockout with Eternal Guard. That is huge. But where's the damage? Jasmine finds the kick into the wall though, so got a flicker to get away. A disengage coming out from Niightmare on the top side. But going back to what I was saying, your roamer, the High Lost, he's so focused on trying to dive with CalVJ that E1 has to fend for himself, and it's never gonna feel good.
Right now, Zed going up against Opera. Opera taking quite a bit of damage, but again, Opera is building defense, so this should not be a problem for him. Looking at the itemization here, Opera, even though only has the Thunder Belt, by this time he should be able to have maybe 7 or 8 stacks. So he has quite a bit of defense here. Other itemizations as well, we can already see that Cammy, 8 minutes in, already having 2 items, the Blade of Despair as well as the Malefic Gun, compared to the Bruno, also having 2 items, the Hospital as well as the Berserker Fury. The damage is there, the range is not there for the Bruno just yet.
Part of me feels like Dianfengyaoguai might need to change the approach to the fight a little bit. Instead of trying to dive the backline and lock them out, you might want to consider peeling for both Long and Yi1. Like, if you stop Jasmine, there is going to be Alpha, right? So there's more than one target that is going to constantly threaten this Vexana that's so important to your team fight. They're going to jump onto So. Jasmine from the back. PC will eat all of it up. CalVJ finds the mid laner, but unfortunately, no kills just yet. Long onto Jasmine, who will use the shot away. CalVJ finds the kill onto So. Long now threatened by PC will just use his body to block it up. Jasmine tries to go for the kick onto Yi1, but Long is saved, and this time, CalVJ is able to stall out the fight.
Dude, it was good by Yi1 as well. As long, did you see how they managed all this dive coming in from Niightmare?
Yeah.
Jasmine tried to kick them.
That's exactly what you need to do, right? Peel for the backline, stop the dive. The difference is there. Flicker into Raiding Sandstorm. Long is now the target. Tries to heal up with the Heart's Claw. It's still a 1-for-1 trade. And they take this Lord though. Too easy for Lexi. He has Cammy with him, but he's so low. An attempted steal, not done. Zed will not win that Nightmare with Lord.
Cammy this time is having a much better game. 4-0-3. Damage dealt. Yi1 still at the top. Surprisingly, 33,000 damage dealt. Even though Yi1, more often than not, gets zoned out quite far away from the team fight. So Yi1, if he has a good setup.
Oh yeah.
If Yi1 and Long is not touched, it's going to be good for Dianfengyaoguai. Right now, let's look at the instant replay here, even though it looks like a fight is about to start. But look at Yi1. He saw that Jasmine wanted to go for him, so he was able to control him first. And that's the big difference. If Jasmine instantly gets the Vexana, probably a different fight.
I would say the focus right now is who can peel for the backline better, right? Like that fight, no one was peeling KelVJ off the rest of Niightmare's backline. That's why he's just jumping around with the Infernal Pursuit. Jasmine, flicker kick onto P-Steel, they just burst him. This high loss, not part of the fight anymore. The Lord still coming in from the bot side. Dianfengyaoguai will have to wait for 20 seconds.
Feels good. Feels good for Niightmare there, where when you get a high loss and you can burst him down that fast, it gives you this confidence that you can fight against anyone. But at this point, Niightmare, they probably just want that holy defense, and they got it, and now they should retreat.
So the good news for Dianfengyaoguai is that they keep inhibitors alive. They are almost 7k behind. Another thing is, Long, he needs that Malefic Gun as soon as possible. We see the difference that it doesn't feel good, like you pointed out, if you take Purify on Bruno, but it's a necessity in this game. But without the flicker, oh boy, any Raging Sandstorm flicker from Oppa is gonna clip him. And he needs that Malefic Gun. He needs it so fast, but he's so far from it. Oh wow, he just got it. Wow, not as far as I thought.
Right now, the Wind of Nature coming in from Cammy is going to make it much more difficult for Zed and Long to actually get that kill. So this is a very big difference.
Yeah.
Over 2,000 difference between Cammy and Long. Even if Long gets free hit over to Cammy, which, judging by the range of the Beatrix, will be very rare to happen, he has to be careful. If he just tunnel visions and just basic attacks all the way and not notice that Wind of Nature, that could be the game-ending fight for Dianfengyaoguai.
How fast can you force it out is also a question. It spells a bit of problem for KelVJ because you dive onto Cammy, but we saw the impact of Niightmare Esports burst damage, right? You get caught once and you just disappear thanks to Banner's Rage. Even get the Demon Hunter Sword, so good luck being a tank if you are Dianfengyaoguai.
Right now, I'm just looking at how they're going to win this one. But Niightmare so far, Husky has been playing very clean. Almost 7,000 gold advantage. Cammy hasn't died at all. And too easy for Alexi this time. He's able to start the fight, which is amazing. But able to peel for his backline as well. This is a different Niightmare Esports from game number 1.
Yeah, but you don't have to constantly be the first one to go in. It always feels good. Jasmine wants to look for the kick, couldn't find it, but it's good enough for the team to get the Lord. And now Niightmare Esports have an angle to go in. E1, he is so split up. Flickers away to get the safety. The freeze from So takes out E1. And Dianfengyaoguai on the run. KelVJ with the vengeance to the back. Can't even get Jasmine. That's unstoppable for too easy for Lexi. 3 kills for Niightmare.
Yeah, right now Dianfengyaoguai, it's hard to say this, but they already got to think about game number 3 because Niightmare Esports is almost 10,000 gold ahead. And against a Beatrix, one of the best scalers in the game, this is not what you want to see. And now it looks like they want to go in mid.
Maybe one last chance for Dianfengyaoguai, but can they hold on for 5 seconds? So P-Steel will use the Glorious Pathway to slow down the minion wave and keep himself alive. But Cammy almost finding it. Jasmine just flicked us for it. Get rid of the front line, finds the kick on the E1. Jasmine sets it up. And Long will have to back off. 2 inhibitors down, but bottom one will fall thanks to the Lord. The Niightmare Esports showing their true form awaken after game number 1. Dianfengyaoguai will put up a final defense, but it is futile as Laos will continue this run in the first BO3. We find the equalizer.